Hi, I hope you are as excited as I am about the possibilities of your future. What I'm about to tell you is going to completely blow your mind, and you're going to absolutely love it at the end. So, you can go 40 days without food, with no damage to your internal organs. You can go 14 days without water, with no damage to your internal organs. But you can only go 4 minutes without air. And when the brain doesn't have any air, it's curtains. So the single most important thing you can do is breathe. Now, it's curious that when you breathe in through your nose, the air goes up and then it goes down. Why doesn't the air just go right into the lungs? Well, I'll tell you why. Air is cold. Of course, we have air conditioning, but that was only in the last 100 years. So for the other 4 million years, we didn't have air conditioning. So cold air actually injures the lungs. The lungs are the most fragile organ. So we have nose to warm the air. And they have little hairs on the inside to protect dust and dirt, whatever, from getting into the lungs. Now, you have 6 sinuses. You have maxillary, you have nasal, and you have frontal. So the air that goes into the sinuses. Now, your body naturally produces mucus to entrap and expel bacteria, virus, fungus, and parasites. So your body naturally produces mucus, which is why you have boogers. Now, when you blow your nose, it's because you have excess mucus. Now we have clear mucus, we have white mucus, we have yellow mucus, and then we got that green, nasty mucus. So there's different qualities of mucus. And if it's yellow or green, I know you have an infection. If it's white, I know you're about to get an infection. Clear just means you're just trying to clear the mucus in your head. Now, if the lungs are the most fragile organ, then a virus, a cough, is going to penetrate you through nose, throat, lungs. That's pretty obvious since I was a kid. So the question for you is, why wait until there's a pandemic of something that's going to kill 2% of the population? That's just crazy. You should have already been thinking, how can I protect my lungs? Now, I ask people all the time, do you know how to breathe? And they're like, sure, of course I know how to breathe. You just breathe in, you breathe out. That's all there is to it. I'm like, ask a singer if they're trained on breathing. Oh yes, we're trained. Ask an athlete, are they trained in breathing? Yes, we're trained in breathing. Do you breathe the way you're trained as an athlete or a singer when you're not singing or in your athletic endeavor? Oh no, I just go back to just like breathing in and out. So I said, here, somebody spent the time to teach you how to breathe, and you don't breathe that way. It's a screw loose somewhere. So I had asthma as a kid. I had all 3 kinds of asthma. I had allergic asthma, I had emotional asthma, and then I had asthma to food. So I had a dairy allergy, so milk, butter, cheese, yogurt, ice cream. I was allergic to that. I was allergic to mold, mildew, dust, and feathers. And then when my family would, emotional stress, I would get asthma. So I had all 3 kinds of asthma as a kid. I was always, tissues every room in the house. And I was addicted to pretzel sticks and M&Ms. That was my comfort food and my self-medication. So as I learned out later, salt is for anxiety and pretzels are for suppressed anger. And chocolate is for comfort. So I had it all going on as a kid. I left home at 16. Stopped eating dairy. Stopped eating chocolate. Guess what happened? I ended up with appendicitis at 17. Emergency room, 12 hours, excruciating pain, had to move back home. Couldn't make that emotional break as much as I wanted. But it taught me a very valuable lesson. You gotta learn how to breathe. I became a runner, and I started running 2 miles every day for a year. Then I started running 3 miles every day. And then I started running 4 miles every day. And then I took it up to 5 miles every day. And of course I did it all wrong. I ruined my ankles, ruined my knees. But I got rid of my asthma by running. And then when I couldn't run anymore because I tore my medial meniscus twice, then I started biking. That didn't really work either. Then I had to learn breathing exercises because I sure as heaven did not want that asthma to come back. So I got rid of my allergies. I got rid of my emotional attachments, and I changed my diet. So that's the issue for you. You've got to figure out what's causing your respiratory issues. You've got to eliminate the dairy, the wheat, the salt, the sugar, the animal fat, and the fried. You've got to eliminate that. And then you've got to put air filters in your house so you can get rid of dust, mold, mildew, feathers, cat hair, etc. And then you have to strengthen your lungs with exercise. Now, if you go to yoga class, they teach you pranayama. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, and then breathe in, breathe out. Okay? I'm not going to teach you pranayama. Then they teach you breath of fire. So breath of fire basically looks like this. You're supposed to do it 60 times. And after every 3 days, you take it up to 120. And then 3 days later, you take it to 180. You get it up to 600 breaths continuously. That's called fire breath. So why do we have to do that, Dr. Love? Because the diaphragm is the umbrella-shaped muscle that pushes the air out of the lungs. Now the lungs end at the bottom of the rib. The lungs are actually more in the back than they are in the front, because in the front we have the stomach, we got the pancreas, we got the spleen, and we got the liver. So the diaphragm muscle goes right across in line with the belly button, and when you breathe out, it pushes up and out. And of course, it pushes the air out of the lungs. Now, when the diaphragm pushes the air out of the lungs, what goes into the lungs? The blood goes into the lungs. And when you breathe in and expand the lungs with air, the oxygenated blood goes out. So the very act of breathing properly massages your internal organs and purifies more blood. So why do we have to wait until there's a stupid coronavirus that kills 2% of the population when the regular flu kills 0.2% of 1% of the population? 0.2% of 1%, 0.2% of 1% versus 2%. Those are huge numbers. I don't want to die. I'm sure you don't want to die either. So strengthen your damn lungs. Do the breathing exercises. Do things that force your lungs to move. The single most important thing you can do is dance. I'm telling you, I'm not making this up. I'm not pulling this out of the air. Dancing is rhythmic, makes your heart move, expands your lungs. It's circular, it's spiral. Dancing is the single most important thing you can do to strengthen your lungs. Well, how much? If you went to high school, how long did you dance? If you went to college, how long did you dance? 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. I used to dance all night long. I don't know about you. When I was in college, we'd go to the party at midnight and we'd dance till the sun came up. And I'm talking nonstop. I don't know if you kids today do that much dancing. What about you? Do you dance for more than 3 hours? Do you dance for more than 3 hours?
I was dancing the other night.
3 hours straight?
Not 3 hours.
Nah, of course not.
So nice.
So my point that I'm trying to say is, you got to dance 45 minutes to an hour every night, 6 nights a week. That's how dancing is going to help you. But I don't have the right music. I don't know how to dance. Doesn't matter if you know how to dance. You just got to dance. If you want me to guide you, I've got the best music, I've got the best DJs, and I've got the best dance moves. So you can join us every day, Monday through Friday, 7:30 in the morning with Chi Dance. Chi is the electromagnetically charged, oxygenated blood that flows and can be stored and accessed at will. So number 1 is dance. Number 2 is swimming. You don't have access to a pool. You're not close to the ocean. It's too cold. I get it. But swimming is number 2. Number 3 is sex. Sex is the best healing exercise. Oh, you're too young. You're too old. You don't have a partner. You're not married. You're religious. You're cultural. I get it. Not my problem. I'm just telling you, sex is number 3. Number 4 is Qigong. Qigong is the 4th best way to heal and strengthen your lungs. You don't need a partner, 4 square feet of space, you don't need music, you don't need the ocean, you don't need anything. So, come join us if you want to learn how to strengthen your lungs. Yes, of course, there's herbs. And yes, I have 8 other breathing exercises. But you're going to have to sign up for that course in order to find out what those breathing exercises are. So Friday night, we have the webinar on health literacy. It's every Friday night, 7 p.m. You've got to join. You go to patreon.com, look for drqilove, DRQILOVE. Register on Patreon, and then you'll get access to the past archives. So, I don't know what else to tell you. You gotta strengthen your lungs, regardless if there's a coronavirus. Regardless if there's a flu, you gotta strengthen your lungs. A chain is only as strong as its weakest link, and your lungs are it. Thank you. For Love Chinese Medicine and the Blue Dragon Qigong Academy, I'm Dr. George Xavier Love. Thank you for watching.
Awesome. Hey.